Hey, Tony Gasson here. I ain't got too long because headed back home with dinner. But here's this thing with this Zion Williamson, and this what I want every man and even women who is into pornography to be very warned. Beware that this is not to be played with. This not to be played with. When you playing with your mind like that, because you have to understand an orgasm is a very powerful thing, because you releasing chemicals into your body that alters your feelings, and that feeling is not a normal state. So that's why that feeling is so controlling and so addictive. And then the stimuli that you use to get that feeling is going to be also addicting. So if you using a rose, if you using your hand, if you watching something, if you are looking at something, or if you physically with another human being, any form of stimuli that you using is going to be addicting. But the thing about that pornography, you have to be very careful, because that is going to be just readily available on your cell phone. And I want men to understand the dangers of pornography, because you cannot quench lust. If you feed lust, it gets stronger. See, when a man, and this could be true for women too, but I'm speaking from a male perspective, so ladies, just kind of, sit this one out, and you could watch and learn about the male mindset and the male psyche. Yes, we are different, but it's typically two types of men, a grown boy and a grown man. So when a man abstains from orgasms, the mind stops requiring them. The mind stops calling, it stops asking for them, and it learns a new state of living. It learns a new homeostasis, we'll call it. It's this new level. As soon as the mind gets an orgasm, it wants another and another and another and another. Because of that oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, whatever's being released into the bloodstream is such a high. It's so relaxing. It's such a feel good that the brain like, whoa, feel different than that stress chemical from your raggedy job, from your raggedy relationship. Ooh, and it get addicting. So that's why some people who have orgasm, they have to have one every day. Sometimes people, you have to have it multiple times a day. And any of us that never had an orgasm went through those different seasons until you find your homeostasis, you find your stable line, you find your middle of the way, you find your happy medium. And then you able to maintain to where you get to the place for me, I'm at a place to where I need me one about once a week. But I'm married. I need me about once a week, 1 to a week and a half. And that's why I done train my brain to get to, so that I'm not just sex crazy and just can't focus, and the only thing I'm thinking about, and that's the reason for why I do anything. Like, I want to be able to take my wife on a date and not expect nothing. I want to be able to go out of town to a hotel for a couple nights and not feel like we have to do that. I want to be able to make love to her mind, make love to her soul, her spirit, not just physically, not just making love to her body. I want to fall in love with my wife and her to fall in love with me, and it not be based on the physical, the release, but it have real substance, so that when I'm at an age to where I can no longer perform, she's not dependent upon a release because she fell in love with me. And that's how the brain works, and that's how people abstain for decades. That's how people still stay married when they person is going through, their spouse going through cancer, or they done had a stroke and it done affect a part of that body, and they can no longer do that, but they could stay married and still have love. And so that's what people got to realize and understand, is that you can't play with that. You can't play with them orgasms. You can't play with that pornography. You can't play with it. And I want every man to understand that porn will destroy your life, because I'm watching it happen. Imagine being Zion Williamson. And this is the thing. If porn is so pervasive, and sex, fornication, is so pervasive that a man who makes, he probably at over 20 or 30 million a year. He could be at 40 million a year with endorsements and stuff. He could be over that. We could Google his contract with the Pelicans. But if a man at that level can risk it all to play in those trenches with those spirits, those porn stars, to where he not only watch it on his phone, but he go find them on social media, or they found him and DM was sent, and then the meetup happened, and then now he got one of them pregnant. Come on now. Come on now. If that thing that strong, if that addiction is that strong, then who want it ruined? Who want it ruined? And see, the thing about it is he just happened to mess with the wrong one. I honestly believe probably 50% of pro athletes may be sleeping with porn stars or strippers or individuals in the sex industry, escorts. I would believe at least 50%. The 50% that may not be doing it is because they married and their wife be right up under them all the time, so they can't really get away with it too much. But even them, some of that 50% may still dip their little stick in something on the road, because some players bring it on the road. Some players have the women come on the road. And so I work in this industry and I work with pro athletes, so I know how it go down, but I've also worked with porn stars. I have coached porn stars when they ready to change their life. I've also coached strippers when they say they ready to come off the pole. I'm out there online as a motivator, as somebody who keep it real, call it straight down the middle, gonna tell you like it is, so they'll reach out to me. But spirits know spirits. So I remember I worked with a porn star. She told me, she said, Tony, everybody in my industry would love to sleep with you, would love to have you, but none of us will try you because we don't want to break up a happy home. She said, you are our hope that a man could be a decent human being. She like, because any other man that I have wanted, I have went after him and I've got him. She said, it's one man that it took me a year to break him. And she told me his name. And when I look at his life and I look at what's, listen. So what I'm gonna try to tell you is, when I'm talking, I'm not just another guy online talking. No, I done been in the trenches. I know how it go down. But see, this the thing what's giving me chills right now is, one thing I have learned is that spirits know spirits. The reason why that young lady didn't try me, because she saw the spirit on me. And she knew the spirit that she operated with. So she came just out of curiosity to see if I am who I say I am. And when she realized I didn't come after her, she realized that I am who I say I am. She said, oh, whoa, hold on now. All right. Let me go on about my business. So because she wasn't ready to change right then, she went on about her business. Because the spirit came to try the spirit by that spirit. That's what the Bible tells us to try a spirit by the spirit. That's what the demonic spirits do too. They come to sniff for, you got a little bit of me. Do you have a little bit of me in you? And if you do, they're gonna pounce on you. You fair game. But one thing that they shake and tremble by is that name. And if you know that name, you know that name. You see what I'm saying? And so sometimes it ain't for everybody. Sometimes everybody don't understand. And so what you have to realize is that this is not to be played with, because you will get devoured. And not only will you lose in the spiritual, you will end up losing in the physical. And it will cost you every single thing you have worked for, everything you have earned. You will lose your job. You will lose your friends. You will lose your family. You will lose your children. It does not come to play. This spirit, it is a seducing spirit. It is a devouring spirit. It will take you for everything that you're worth. It will take all of your money. It will take all of your mental capacity, your mental energy. It will take all of your heart. It will take all of your hope, and it will strip you of every single thing that you got. Everything you got, it'll ruin you. Because what you have to realize is that this is not physical. This is spiritual. So what you have to realize is that the person that this spirit has inhabited is fighting and clamoring to be released. The person does not like being under the control of this spirit. And that's why this lady, Mariah, I think her name is, might be Mariah Mills, is coming for Zion Williamson because she is screaming and crying out for help. He was going to be her salvation. Instead of going to Jesus Christ, she was going to Zion Williamson because he was going to put her in his mansion. He was going to have her riding nice. She was going to get to come up. So while every man was looking at her like the scum of the earth, while other women sending subliminal messages online because she made her done did something with they man, so they sending out tweets and stuff by, I'll never sell my body, these dirty HO, these such and such. She probably done got it from both ways of being called all kind of stuff. And she was about to one up them. She was about to get the last laugh. She was about to get rescued. And now, because his spirit chose another spirit, and they all from the same underworld. They all demonic spirits. They all is operating under a demonic spirit. That's what they don't understand. And sometimes people try to say they don't believe in demonic spirits, and they don't believe in spiritual warfare. They don't believe all that. Yeah, that's what you want to think. That's what you want to believe. You ain't got no power. You ain't got no power. You finna operate with good, or you finna operate with evil. You got to make a choice, and then you got to have the system and the structure put in place to make sure that you got the strength to win. And so here it is. Boom. Here it is. He choose another young lady. And that young lady, if I ain't mistaken, went and got his name tattooed on her face. So they still operating under that defiled spirit. And because they done worked in the industry, they done been sex workers, he get to live out. For right now, he gonna get a wake-up call. He gonna get a wake-up call. Because a woman gonna be a woman. They're not finna be coming off that thing all time of day, all time of night, forever. So he gonna learn a lesson. He gonna learn when a woman had that baby, that postpartum, them headaches. When she tired, she cooking, cleaning, she doing whatever, ripping and running, she at the recital, she doing all this different stuff. He is fixing to learn. He fixing to learn. Yep, that porn is not real. Porn is not real. Them people is doing that for a job. That's how they make money. But that is not a reflection of the real world or real life. And that's what I need y'all men to realize and to understand. I need y'all to know that you have to consecrate your mind, your spirit, your soul. You have to break free from these vices. You have to abstain. You have to buffet your body. You got to manage your mind. You have to gain the strength, the control, the clarity. For me, I pray to God. My Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ. And I believe that he died on the cross and rose again. That's where I get my strength and my power from. It's my Savior, my God. I'm not doing this on my own because I can't do it on my own. So if you man enough, you feel like that make you a man by not having a religion, not having a Savior, just like if that make you feel better about yourself, hey, God bless you, more power to you. Let me know how that turn out. Let me know how that turn out. I done been there. I done been there trying to do it on my own. I done been there. We didn't make ourselves. So we got to go to our Creator when we want to be a new creature, when we want to be renewed. We got to go to our Creator. If a Mac want to update, it got to go to Steve Jobs or whoever in place up there. The Mac can't update itself. It got to be hardwired. It got to be coded. It got to be a download. It got to be. So as creatures, we got to go to the Creator to be rewired. We got to go to the Creator to be renewed. We got to understand that we don't have all power over ourselves. And that's what's happening when you turned over to your own mind and you lean into your own understanding, you lose. And that's what happened. That's what we see happen with Zion Williamson right now. But guess what? This is a message to every other guy, to every other man who has not been exposed. This is your warning. This is your warning. To every other man who has not been exposed, this is your warning. Because what we see happening with Zion Williamson is what I call taking your grace for granted. Notice, he didn't get outed for sleeping with these porn stars. He didn't get outed until he got one pregnant, had a baby shower, did the announcement, a message online. That's when he got outed. He had to went all the way this time, all this long. Listen to me. This is your warning. Get your life together. Get your life together. Consecrate your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit. Change the way you moving. Change the way you doing things. Stop watching pornography. Abstain from it. Break the habit now. Stop watching pornography. Stop masturbating. Get complete control over your life, or it is going to take you into the darkness. You're going to be in a dark hole, screaming, yelling, kicking, hollering, and you're going to get suffocated, and the life going to get choked out of you. You're going to lose your wife or your girlfriend, your boyfriend. You're going to lose your children. You're going to lose your job. It is a spirit that seeks to kill and destroy and devour, and you're going to lose it all. Do not play with it, because you have to realize it's not just the spiritual. It's operating through a human, and that human is going to get tired, and that human, when that human is tired, they're going to commit homicide. And it's going to be either social homicide, corporate homicide, or it's going to be physical homicide. And then on top of that, to not have to go to prison, it will be a suicide. And this is what you got to realize and understand. And right now, what he is going through is social and corporate homicide. Because the spirit operating in that young lady said, no, we were bound through blood. We was in that bed. We was shaking up. You was not finna leave me and go choose this other spirit and leave me here to scream and to suffer and to be a loser. If I gotta lose, you gonna lose. If I gotta die financially, you gonna die financially. If I gotta suffer financially, you gonna suffer financially. If I gotta suffer socially, you gonna suffer socially. And that's what happened when the spirit overpower the human. And that's what Zion Williamson going through. And to the NBA, anybody in the NBA Players Association, if y'all remember, ain't nothing like this happened when y'all had me in there talking to them rookies. But after I went to work with a team, they stopped. They couldn't bring me to talk to the rookies. I ain't working with the team no more. Bring me back in there to talk to them rookies. because they need to hear the real. They need to hear the truth. Because see, my spirit up there on that stage talking to Zion Wilson, it would have cast that spirit right out of them right there in that day. And see, they don't understand. These people that's in front of these guys, they don't even understand spiritual warfare. They don't even understand how real it is. Most of them do not know, because they don't understand what these people is under, what they dealing with, because they not getting a call at 2 o'clock in the morning. I am. 4 o'clock in the morning. I am. They don't understand it. So they think it play. Oh, let's just check a box. Let's have this man come in here and talk about clothing line. Talk about writing a book. Talk about, no, these people is going through. And they need the real. You hear me? Hey, this Tony Gasson, I could go all day. Because I'm passionate about this thing. Because I hate to see young men and women snuffed out in spiritual warfare. Hey, God bless you. We're going to talk soon.